All right, folks. We're back.
And then you say...
With more... You were sitting there, yeah. Everything
What's
that
really
has
gonna
a
bake your noodle
beginning
later
has
is-
an ending,
which
Neo.
is...
What?
broken it if I didn't tell
Some part of you printed on me. Yeah, you're standing right there. I'm here, and I say, and then you say, and then I say, everything that has a beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back, folks.
I promise, as soon as you're done eating it, you'll feel right as
We're
rain.
mixing up Matrix movies. We're talking.
We're
keeping talking here. We are keeping talking about.
You're about to say if you're a real
Serious student.
Yeah, serious student.
A serious student. Then, what defines a serious student is that individual takes seriously the teachings.
Yeah.
Okay, so, for example, precious human life as a teaching would be taken seriously. That would mean that, whomever is trying to be serious would ask herself or himself, am I here to be a graphic designer or a restaurant server or a manager? Am I here to be a musician? What the fuck am I really here? What the fuck am I trying to do? Mm-hmm. Right? And if someone were a serious student, then doing anything other than aiming for a realization would be a waste of time.
It's tricky,
right?
In our position. I'm saying our, as in like our kind of close group, because I don't think that most of us are really interested in renouncing the world, becoming a monk or a nun. But at the same time, if we choose not to renounce the world, that means we have to have some sort of income. We still have to play by certain rules of being in the world. We have to have a job. Gotta have a house.
Yeah, I mean...
Someplace to live, rather.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth on these things because... Yeah, I mean, it's just whether or not we take it seriously. That's all. That's enough. People say a bunch of things. But what we do is what matters.
Can you break it down?
Well, what I'm saying is if we were obsessed about investigation, if we were obsessed about study and practice, if someone were, if you, that's like, when you meet people who are obsessed about study and practice, what they're not doing is working that much. Mm-hmm. How can they? How can you do that? Mm-hmm. Right? So they're probably just living very simply and broke all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm saying I've been like that for a long fucking time, like that.
Yeah.
So anybody who's not doing that is not actually really about it. It doesn't have to be about, it doesn't only have to be about spiritual pursuits. It could be about painting or fucking athletics or whatever.
Whatever
right?
you're here to do.
Yeah, that's all I fucking do.
Yeah.
That's all I fucking do is that. Mm-hmm. And so that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. And so there are teachings like the fourth way that say, oh, you can do the same thing in the world, but that's not necessarily true unless you're that really special person that wants to fucking study, as an obsessed is obsessed about it and can use something like a job as a meditation.
Oh, as a way to sort of
as a way
buffer
to
the
constantly
energy.
pay attention and practice and like feel being uncomfortable and feel like a certain type of precise interaction, speech articulation, like learn a wine menu because you understand it's a memorization exercise, like not, you know, and not
'cause it
forget
really
about
matters.
that. Right.
Yeah. So I should stop asking questions until I bother to do the mental workouts of precious human life and imminent.
Yeah, like what do you know, this is, you know, what we were saying before is, you know, it's like, well, why can't I develop more momentum or whatever,
Why
right?
am I not obsessed?
Yeah, and it was saying, because, you know, what we are, like who we are, or what we are, is on a moment-to-moment basis a certain quality of contents. Meaning there are certain things inside of us. And all those things, the amalgamation of all those things, cultural influences, opinions, our own analysis of shit, whatever, like it's just like it's an amalgamation, and it like spits out, you know, like it's a perception mechanism. It's a perception generating mechanism, as I've called it, you know?
Yeah.
It's raining today. Oh, it sucks, or it's great, or whatever.
It's just constantly qualifying things without really...
Yeah, and so the qualification is a reaction that's based on what is currently inside of us, right? And we don't realize that we can change the contents of what's inside of us. I was saying, you know, when I eat eggs, and then the egg yolk is dried around the edges of the bowl, and I put it in the sink, and I put hot water and soap in to try to like break up the dried up proteins or whatever the hell it is. And then at first it's like super mucky, right? And like that's us. We're not super clear about what the fuck we
even
want to
though
do.
there's water pouring in, it's still kind
There's some shit in there that needs to get cleaned out. But if you leave, but you can put, but a certain like water, let's say a clear substance or you know, legitimate teachings, if we turn the faucet on and are open and receptive to that, over time it clears all that shit out. And then there's a different type of contents inside of us.
Yeah.
And so we won't necessarily have to hold on to, oh, I don't want my family to think I'm crazy, or I don't want to be perceived as an asshole, or I don't have fucking time for that, bro.
Yeah, or whatever the confusion may be for anyone.
Yeah. Who has time for that? What are you fucking here to do? Let's go. I do not have time to worry about whether or not my mom thinks I'm fucking crazy. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care if people are going to say this, that's, that, or whatever. I am here to fucking study and practice. Something like this. And so this is the beauty of being a renunciate also. When it's not something that's just like the cultural like imperative or something, you know, it's like that's what you do. No, it's like if someone really makes that type of commitment, this is good.
Yeah.
And then, especially if someone makes that type of commitment, can carry that attitude, but then still be in the world, that's something else.
Yeah.
Right? But just because we say it doesn't mean we really fucking know it and are living like that.
Definitely.
Where every fucking moment of the day is like super deliberate. Am I using this time? 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 Right. Okay, I'm resting. Okay, I need to eat a little something. Okay, I need to sit and watch my breath. Okay, I need to read this thing. Okay, I got a little writing to do. Okay, now I need to stretch my ankle.
But even like why anyone's doing any of those things. You know, we can be aware and sensitive to what needs to happen throughout the day. But we still may not know the point of, you know, what we're trying to do or whatever.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah. So, in regards to feeling confused or like, I don't know, I was saying I feel guilty about not not doing certain things, but it's not like there's one irrefutable proof that someone could say to me to diminish that. It's like I just need to turn on a faucet and develop a more consistent connection to real teachings that will eventually clean out that attitude.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the only thing that helps us at all is clarity. That's it.
Yeah. Well, and it's very difficult to identify the next level of clarity.
Well, by definition, definition you can't.
Yeah.
Right? So it has to come from another source.
Yeah. So there's always going to be some level of trust involved.
Yes. By definition, how can I know what is more clear? By definition, if I'm occupying a certain level of understanding, how could I know what the level of understanding beyond that is? By definition, I cannot.
Impossible.
Right?
Yeah. So what do we do about that?
Right. So what we do about that is we sit with that. This is what I've said enough times for it to start to enter into my default
speech.
Yes, we have a habit because I can go to the store and buy kale and I can do all this shit. I can fucking go on Amazon.
I think I know what's best for myself.
Well, no, I can go on Amazon and I can get it right now.
We have no patience.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Amazon Prime. That shit shows up tomorrow.
In the morning? All right, great.
So we think that we can also, what I'm supposed to do? Okay, so tell me how I'm supposed to solve that problem. Okay, now I'm going to solve that problem. Like that, right? And we're rushing around and we don't realize that for example, we just stumbled upon something that's super fucking important. Mm-hmm. And if we would initiate the process of ingesting, digesting, assimilating something that we just talked about, then by necessity, we would evolve. By definition, our motive would be there would be an active seedling, a seed that would sprout inside of us that would by definition do what the fuck it is that we want. Right? It wouldn't be direct. So what I'm saying is if we think critically and spend time on the right types of shit. This is the mind movement I was talking about earlier, right? We just took a left. We weren't supposed to take a left. We were supposed to go straight.
Oh, no.
We should have stayed fucking going straight. Turned left way too early and now we're lost in some shit. Right? Notice, look. From wherever we are at our level of understanding things, by definition, we cannot know a level beyond that. Right?
Okay.
So if we were to think about that a lot, and then have some type of minor realization, let's call it minor. Yes, that's totally fucking true. Okay, that means that I have to be open to receive something else, right? Mm-hmm. And then let that work. 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 And not only that you want to receive something else, just random something else, but you want to receive a level of clarity that is superior to yours, that is better, quote unquote, that is good also. Better meaning oriented toward that which is good, let's say. And
enough clarity to know that it is better than where you were before.
Well, what I'm saying is you don't want you. It's like when you think about how much clarity you have, let's say, right? There's a certain thing. We think that when we say clarity, it means I know how to dissect a frog. or I know how to fillet a tuna or something. This is not clarity. That's not what the fuck we're talking about either. We're talking about understanding our lives, right? Like, and that's not information. Like, I know how to write a code. I know how to program AI or something. I know how to fucking make a couch. No.
When I think of clarity in the way that we're discussing it here, I think of like being able to solve a problem or being able to make a decision with certainty, with confidence, something like that.
Sure, but I'm not even talking about like solving problems. I'm talking about understanding what the hell this experience is.
I know, but then it's like...
I'm saying, because if you understood what this experience is, then by default you would know what decisions to make. Mm-hmm. If you understood why you were here, you would know exactly what the fuck you should be doing and what you shouldn't. Right? Mm-hmm. When you go to the grocery store, you don't go around looking for a gas fucking, like trying to put gas. You don't drive your car into the grocery store. Right? Mm-hmm. You don't do that. When you know why you are somewhere, you know what is totally fucking irrational to try to do. And therefore you know what to do, is what I'm saying. So when we know why we are here, we know what's inappropriate. By definition, when you know why you are somewhere, you know what is inappropriate. Yes? When you know why you when you know why you are at your job, whatever. I had to call it a job, but let's say when you know why you're sitting in front of your computer on a Zoom call, when you know why you're there, you know that it's inappropriate to undress and try to take a shower at the same time. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm saying this is the type of thinking. When we actually spend time, this is the type of thing, this is the mind movement I was referring to before. When we do this, everything makes sense. We already have within us the indwelling genius that has basic fucking sanity. Mm-hmm. We're built of basic sanity. We are made of basic sanity. Who we really are, what we really are, is pure fucking genius. So when we will spend time moving our mind in the right way, all this shit makes sense. I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying when we think about clarity, I'm not talking about I know how to fucking change a tire. Yeah. I'm talking about knowing why I'm on this planet. So me knowing why I'm on this planet, there's a certain level to that. Mm-hmm. Right? By definition, if it isn't perfect clarity, then that means it means that I can't understand what that is. Whatever the more encompassing, mm-hmm. the larger clarity is, if it's larger than mine, I can't know that. Mm-hmm. And if I want to know that, that means I have to get that I have to get teachings from somewhere else. Yeah. I'm saying.
There's nothing to do about that, actually.
Right.
Like, we think that we want to go out and solve the problem, but that's not the mechanism that will provide the answer.
No. The mechanism that will provide the answer is to realize that A, what we want is more clarity, B, that we need a source for that. And so just imagine that, again, this falls within the seeker, humility, opening your heart, all of these things start to overlap at a certain point. Mm-hmm. So if someone were to really sit with that a lot, it would work on that person's behavior, body, speech, and mind patterns and habits. It would change them, or like you used to say, the process of observation changes the thing all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like that. Mm-hmm. That's the way to change it. To really familiarize ourselves, or right? Familiarization is a better word than meditation. Mm-hmm. to familiarize ourselves with these fucking principles. Right? That's the exercise. And then by default, when we're really familiar with it, it's like, oh, duh. You know? Mm-hmm. Oh, the answer will become obvious on its own, inside of us. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what we are. Like, what we are as beings is this, like, field of space, this field of intelligence that can, spend time on thinking about something and have the answer spontaneously emerge inside of us. Mm-hmm. I mean, basically.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that is all.